New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Hello, and welcome. Hi there, everybody. Hey, I have a question for you. So, when's the last time you stopped to smell the roses? When is the last time you stopped to smell the roses? That's my question for you. And that's a question that I want you to begin to ask yourself every day. That's the question that I want you to think about when you are feeling overstressed and frazzled. Some days we just wake up and we're like, oh my gosh, this day is just starting out crazy and it gets crazier. So that's the question for me to you. When was the last time you smelled the roses? That's the question. Because did you realize that your thoughts and your actions do make a difference? Every time we wake up, when we get up in the morning, the way that we start our day is the way that our day unfolds. And the energy that we start with is the energy that we produce throughout the day. And we attract either good things and good situations in our life, or we attract negativity and crappy experiences. So that's my question for you about the roses. So I'm here to support you. I'm Rev Lisa, and I am a spiritual life coach. And I am here to talk with you a little bit today about your inner dazzle and how we can connect to that inner source that knows how to stop and smell the roses and knows how to be centered. That's our innermost part of ourselves that is peaceful and harmonious and full of love and joy. That inner dazzle, that's that part of you that we can and want to be connected to every day of our life. So when you wake up connecting to that inner dazzle, the rest of your day definitely will unfold with ease and grace. So that is what we're here to do. So hello out there. I wanted to say hi to my Facebook and YouTube friends. Thank you for joining me today. Today is May 26, 2021, and I am here to share a few tips with you today about how to stop and smell the roses. So I ask you again, are you aware of your thoughts and your actions? And do you actually take time for yourself during your busiest times? Many of us are moms, dads, or run our own businesses, or entrepreneurs, or work at a big company. And a lot of times we end up focusing and spending all of our time and our energy on everybody else. A lot of times we end up focusing and allowing everybody else's wants and needs to come before our own. And I notice that happens in my life. And you know when I notice it the most is when I start feeling really grumpy or irritated or resentful when somebody asks me to do something. So that's the time that I ask you to tap into and connect with that inner dazzle, that inner part of you that knows what is best for you. So that's what you need to do, is to begin to become mindful of your thoughts and mindful and aware of your actions. What kind of thoughts are we thinking every day? What do we wake up with in the morning? Do we start out with positive thoughts? And do we stop to smell the roses? Is your life feeling maybe out of control, or are you frustrated or irritated in a certain part of your life? That's a good sign. That's your body's way of telling you that we need to readjust and create something better, create a different scenario or circumstance for you. So if you're not aware of your thoughts, then your life can be frustrating or out of control, and it's not the way that we want it to unfold. So I have some tips for you to help you to decide that it can be better. So the good news is that there are some techniques and tools that you can use to make your life more harmonious, more peaceful, When we connect to that inner part of ourselves, that inner dazzle, we connect to our source, we get calm, we get peaceful, and we regroup and get focused on what's most important in our life. So that's the awareness. So we create mindfulness with our thoughts, and then we take action with our steps, with our body, with our physical self. So those are the two things. We have your mind and your body. So that's definitely what I've been experiencing. Is that, as I mentioned, when I begin to feel frustrated or irritated, or I feel like things just aren't going my way or whatever that is, that's my sign to know that it's time for me to take a step back, smell the roses. I love my little rose. I had to bring my little rose. Smell the roses. Stop and smell the roses. That's what we need to do. Take more time to do that in your life. So I have here, so let me see here. We have, so tip 1, I want you to take a look at this. We're going to be an observer of your thought. So the idea is we talked about, first we're talking about thoughts, then we're going to talk about actions. So when we talk about our thoughts, we are achieving the perspective of awareness of yourself, and know that that is only possible by becoming the observer of your own life. Achieving the perspective of awareness of yourself is only possible by becoming the observer of your own life. And this quote is by Ray Dodd. So Ray tells us, in this little book, it's called The Power of Belief. This is a really great little book. It's got some really wonderful tools, as he says, essential tools for living an extraordinary life, which of course we all want to do. So listen to what Ray Dodd has to say. So number 1, it's going to be thoughts about yourself and others. We're going to begin to think more clearly about what we're doing and how we're thinking. And the second one is going to be watch. We're going to be the observer. We're going to watch our thoughts and our actions. So the way that we do that really is when you wake up in the morning, right off the bat, we're going to start to become more consciously aware of our thoughts. What thoughts are we thinking? What thoughts are we saying to ourselves? What thoughts are we saying to others? And then we're going to observe what that looks like and how that is playing out in our lives. So that's the thoughts about yourselves and others, and we're going to watch the other thoughts. The next one is feel. So we're going to feel. We're going to connect to our feelings. And that a lot of times can be challenging, because sometimes it's easier just to push our feelings away and just trudge through and keep doing what we're saying that we got to get done. But the reality is that you'll notice a lot of times when we shove down our feelings, we push the feelings away, they always find a way to show up. And a lot of times they show up in anger or irritation or frustration. And of course, if you have little ones, fur babies or people, oftentimes we end up shouting or spouting off at them, and then that doesn't feel very good. And I hate to say that I've done that, and I have to apologize. I go and apologize to my daughter. It's usually her or my fur babies. You have to take a step back, be the observer, feel your feelings, and definitely, if you create harm or disharmony in the way, you want to apologize and reset. That's the way that we do it. So the fourth one is we're going to listen. We're going to listen. That's the idea. You want to listen. And the way that I like to do that, I think I showed you guys this before, is you just take your hand on your heart and your other hand on your tummy, and you just stop. I want you to do it with me right now. So hand on your heart, the other hand on your tummy, on your belly. We're just going to stop for 1 minute, maybe less, but I want you to focus with me right now. So take a moment, close your eyes, put your hand on your heart, and massage it a little bit. Tap into that heart energy. That is your heart chakra, and that is our energy of love for ourselves and others. So we're going to close our eyes. Take a deep breath with me now. One more deep breath. So we're going to stop and listen to our heart, and to listen to our belly, listen to what is going on inside. We're going to feel the energy that resides deep within us right here, right now. So as we take these deep breaths, we breathe in that divine source. Breathe it in. Just breathe in love and light and patience and peace. And know that that is the center of our being. That is where that inner dazzle lives, deep inside our heart, inside our soul, deep inside our solar plexus, where the belly is, underneath the heart. We just connect with that energy, the heart and the solar plex, and center ourselves into this moment right here, right now. And as we focus into this moment, we begin to be present of all the feelings that are going on inside. And that is where we connect to that divine guidance, that inner guidance that knows what is the next thing for us to do, to feel harmony, to feel peace, to feel that inner dazzle, to feel connected. So when we take time to stop and listen, we begin to feel our feelings, we begin to create a new awareness of what we're doing in our lives. All right, another deep breath. All right, you can open your eyes and just stand back and observe. What do you feel? What do you hear? What do you think? What do you perceive is going on in this moment right here? Allow your answers to come to you. They will come through you. That divine wisdom that lives inside of you will tell you exactly what your next step is in your life to have more peace, more harmony, more love, whatever it is that's your next step. And what came to me when I created this program was, Lisa, stop and smell the roses. Stop and smell the roses. That's what we need to do. That always can bring peace and harmony. So remember that. Step into that and know you can always just check in with yourself and be right there where you need to be. All right, so our next slide is slide 2, and we are moving into another quote. And I want to read this quote to you. And this is, we read this one before, but I want to read it again. The ability to control your experiences, prosperity, and success lies in our own mind and the way that you use it. This means that we need to control our own experience. Yes, you need to control your own experience. That's what we're here to do, is to create that. Create is knowing that we are creating our own experiences by our thoughts, by our actions. Goes back to that. It's just really simple, actually. So that was a quote by author unknown. I don't know who wrote that, but I love it. It's a great little quote because it really, what it does is it brings it back to recognizing and knowing that we are responsible for our thoughts and our actions, and creating more mindfulness in our lives is what it's all about. That's what this month is about, Mindfulness May, and that's what we're here to talk about. And so in that, I just have one more little quote I want to read to you, and then I'm going to invite Gina to join us after we talk about this. So my tip number 2 is to be a doer. Take action with your thoughts. The origin of the thought is unique to each individual. Some people are naturally gifted in the ability to see things differently. But there's one point on which all of these leaders agree. Thought alone does not determine success. It's the action taken as a result of the thought that creates real results. And that is called Thoughts or Things, and it is by Bob Proctor and Greg S. Reed. Great little book, fantastic. Thoughts or Things, check this out. It's a really good one. Simple reading, it's really great. Get one of these because it's good stuff. So they talk about, the biggest part that I liked is it's the action taken as a result of the thought that creates real results. So that's what we want to focus on, taking action. So think about, what are some ways you can take action? There's all kinds of ways we can take action. And we mostly know what the things are that we need to do, but we just don't do it. So number 1, it's about creating more time in your life to begin to schedule things in so that you can take action. And I deal with this all the time. I say, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do these 3 things today, these big things. Number 1, I got to take care of myself. We start out, get out of bed. We're going to go do a quick, even a quick meditation. Sometimes it's 5 minutes, center, and then move on through the day. So it's about scheduling time for yourself, create space on your calendars, and you can do it either on your Google, or I do a handwritten calendar still. That's probably the best way to do it. Scheduling time for yourself so that you can smell the roses. Don't forget to smell the roses. Most important thing. So that's probably number 1. And then, of course, take action is whatever your action is for you, which can be lots of different things. Of course, for me, it's taking more walks, eating more mindfully. It's creating space so that I can have quality time with my daughter instead of just hanging out watching TV. There's an endless list of things that we can actually do, but we want to focus on maybe the top four things of the day, write them down, and schedule the actions, because as Bob Proctor said, it is the action taken as a result of the thought that creates real results. So if we want to have results, if we want to have more peace and prosperity and health and harmony in our lives, we need to take action and write those things down and stay committed to it. Love yourself enough to do that. So I have one more quote for you that I'm just going to read that I thought was so great. And this is just a simple little piece. And this is another author unknown. Stopping to smell the roses is an act of appreciation. It is recognizing the source of the goodness in our lives. It means taking time to recognize the daily moments that bring us joy and really seeing what causes our great emotion. I thought that was really wonderful. I thought that was just a great way to sum that up a little bit, is when we're talking about smelling the roses. So I would like to invite Miss Gina to join us. She's my wonderful producer here at New Thought Media Network, which I forgot to mention. New Thought Media Network is hosting our show, and we're so glad to be here. And I have the beautiful Gina that's here with me, and she has a show. Her show is on, when is your show? Thursdays?
Monday night was Peace Circles, so it's
Peace Circles,
6 to 7, and we have Joys in the Journey on tomorrow.
Yes,
wonderful guest, Dr. Barry Fleet, is on tomorrow, and he is just incredible. So Thursday, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. But thank you for that. I'm going to do that selfish plug. Yes, but I love what you're saying, and mindfulness is such an important thing. And we were chatting, and she said, just stop by. I'm like, okay, and here I am. So you don't have to ask me twice. Thank you so much. And I just wanted to mention, I read you this quote I had found that I absolutely loved on just what you were just saying. Be happy in the moment. That's enough. Each moment is all we need, not more. Mother Teresa. So the only time we can ever be happy is in this moment. And we need to know that that is enough. That's all we ever need. And, isn't that the truth, that we get so caught up in like what's coming, what did happen, what didn't happen, all the stuff of it. Sometimes we lose sight of what we have. The only time we can ever feel joy is now. So being mindful is being here now. And I catch myself with that all the time.
Yes.
It's amazing to me that I'm in ministerial school. It's 4 years of ministerial school. You would think, I've already done 3 and I'm on my 4th. And it's like, you would think by now I'd get to just be here. Like the simplest of things, just be here now.
Just
be here.
Like I was saying that earlier. It really is simple. There's simple things about, the thoughts and the actions and the just be here now. It's simple, but it's not always easy. That's kind of the thing, is it, like you said, and I was mentioning that we have all these busy things going on in our lives, and we don't stop to smell the roses, and we don't stop to be in the moment. So that's the goal.
And I love this one too. I have one more that I'm going to share that I love. Feelings come and go like clouds on a windy sky. Conscious breathing is my anchor. Thich Nhat Hanh. So when life feels crazy, feelings come and go like clouds in a windy sky. Conscious breathing is my anchor. You know, it's just be here now and be settled where I am. I can be anywhere and everywhere, and I am off and running. And I don't have to, I was just saying to my mother and father-in-law, like, I can literally, I mean, I'm not leaving the house and I'm going to hit 10 different directions.
Yeah.
Literally, I'm not, like the past week, I haven't barely left the house yet, you know, and I'm starting to get back out again. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm still just so many things online. School or the network, or there's just so many different directions, and it's amazing that life is so crazy now.
Yeah, I agree. I was really feeling that today. You know, getting ready for the show today, it was like, oh my gosh, I'm literally in 10 directions, and I'm at my desk. I mean, I'm like right here. It's, you know,
like you said, we don't even have to move to be in the to go.
I know.
Distracted. It's just amazing to me that I can be sitting right where I need to be and not get to what I need to because I'm you know, the internet, or, you know, years ago it was a much simpler life.
Definitely.
And it wasn't about roles that necessarily, but you knew what you were there to do. You did it, and your family was there afterwards. And every night you would come home, and that's the way it used to be.
Yes.
Our society has no compartments. And in some ways, that's magnificent. There's no limits. Wonderful.
Right. Unlimited.
And they're not all for right now.
Yeah. That's why we are here to teach about being joyful and having a joyful moment. And the other thing I teach about is my 1 minute pause that, you know, I think is so important because we have to have tools. That's kind of what my mission is, to create more tools to be more mindful and to be more, you know, aware of what our thoughts are. What are we thinking? What are we saying? What are we doing? Instead of just, you know, like I get caught up sometimes. I'm running around and doing 500 things. And it's like, whoa. That's why I do this exercise of, okay, let me just take it. Let's just stop for a second and take a deep breath and regroup. Yeah.
It's amazing. It is, you know, and I'm a big, just like you just said, I am a huge fan of tell me how. I don't want to hear be more peaceful. Tell me how.
Right. That doesn't mean anything.
Life, I didn't know what peace was.
Yeah.
It was a soundbite. Yes, I want world peace. Yeah,
sure, we all see that.
What does that even mean? I didn't know what it meant because my life was chaos. So how can I find more peace? If you don't know what it is, you never find it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why, like you said, these are all practices. You know, who doesn't want more joy? But if you don't know how to get there, then what good is it? You know, we have to be in a place of understanding that, you know, it's already there. We just have to uncover it.
Right.
Or be in it.
Yes.
You're already there. You're already there.
Exactly.
So get out of the car. We've arrived.
Right. And it's just discovering that is the truth of who we are if we just, you know, just realize it, just notice that, recognize that.
Just pause and take a breath.
Yeah. Yes. So important. My goodness. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I picked the Stop and Smell the Roses for today, because it was like, okay, that's a great metaphor. And that's one I can remember. It's like, oh, whoa. Okay. I'm just going to stop. I'm going to smell the roses and then reset. It's just a simple, you know, simple things.
And it doesn't hurt that purple is my favorite color too. So
yeah, nice. Yeah. Wonderful. This is so great.
And it's finding those things though. If that makes you happy, then surround yourself with it.
Right.
If you like a color, go get that color. As a life coach, I've had many clients that forgot what they liked. Parents that forgot what they like to eat because they would make what the kids like.
Yeah.
They forgot what movies they like because they just watched what the family watched. What do you like? That's part of the problem. And that's part of mindfulness too, is to be here now. Journal. Be where you are. Take some time to take a breath and write a page a day.
Well, that's great.
You know, and just be where you are. allowing whatever needs to come out. You're never going to be here again. This point in your life, this moment of your life will never be the same again. The people that are in it, the things that you're doing, everything about you will never be what it is right now.
Yeah.
So stop trying to get away from it and look at the good in it, because sometimes when we look at, especially when it comes to goals and things like that, what I find is, there's things that we're really good at. So for me, thankfully, I have healthy relationships, but it's because I nurture those relationships. So if I then spent my time and did everything else because I figured, well, my relationships are just fine, they're not going to be just fine because I'm letting go of what worked. So we have to make the time to be mindful of, why does this part of my life flow and this one doesn't? Why am I receiving all the blessings in this area, but this one feels stuck?
Right.
And we can it's not about figuring it out, but it's already in front of us.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. I like that. Yeah. And that, again, that's just creating what we've been talking about all month long with the mindfulness in May, because there's just so many different little ways that we can be mindful, and it really makes a huge difference. Like you were saying, that's a beautiful thing to create good relationships and keep them, and it takes being mindful. It takes being thoughtful. It takes being aware of your actions. How am I being loving? How am I being supportive of my relationships and our relationship with ourselves? That's the other
exactly. Right? That's the most important one.
Yeah.
Because if we are, pulling out our hair at every corner, or if we're, it burning the candle at both ends, we're just burnt. And that's the bottom line. There's no, for me, I have that mind of, well, one more thing, and I need to get to that, and I need to get to that. And I'm trying to get out the door, and I'm trying to get one more thing done, and one more thing done, and one more thing done. And I got in the car thinking I had plenty of time, and I was thinking it was a half hour earlier than it was. For whatever reason, I made the reservation. Why would I think otherwise? And I just laughed at myself, because it told me I am clearly doing too much.
Oh yeah, I'm so familiar with that. I do the same thing. I'm like, just squeeze in. I'm like, one more little thing, just one more.
It's crazy, but the most important part is to be the observer, like you said.
Yes.
There's no judgment in it.
Yeah,
and no judgment. That is the most important part of mindfulness, is that we're just witnessing it, like we would to people that we love. We're being caring. We're being sincere and genuinely just witnessing it, like the clouds, letting it just be in the moment.
Yeah, I love that, and that's great, and that's what Ray Dodd, when I read the little quote earlier about achieving the perspective of awareness of yourself is only possible by becoming the observer of your life. And being the observer is, think of it as, like, part of me is kind of like behind me observing, you know what I mean? Like I kind of look at it in a bigger picture, like, okay, and I wonder if people know, how are you the observer in your life? And then I say to myself, well, how am I the observer? The observer for me is taking a step back and looking in and saying, okay, what's going on here? Let's take a look let's observe this situation or observe this day and say, what could I do differently, or what steps can I take to recreate or bring more peace, more happiness, more serenity, more love, more kindness to my day.
And that's all. It's just a practice. That's the gift of it. It's a practice. Life itself is a practice.
Right.
Every bit of it is, they're all tools to joy, so that that inner dazzle comes out. Because if we're not mindful, we're not paying attention. How often do we say time flies? Our children that were just babies are now, they're teenagers. The next thing you know, they're in college. Next thing you know, they have their own kids. I have 4 grandchildren, and I blink. It's like, what happens? And it really happens so fast. But you want to appreciate what's going on. And the more that we do it, the more that our children and their children become beneficiaries of that because
Oh,
we're
yeah.
modeling, and we're attracting. So
Yeah.
am I attracting from the chaos in my life, or am
Mhm.
I attracting from that place of power and joy? So
Right.
all of this is so important, and I thank you for letting me stop on by, and I'm
Yeah.
going to send you all a whole bunch of loves. Mwah!
Great.
And
Thank you.
grateful to be here with you. Thank you for letting me invade your time. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go, and I
Right.
love you all. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you. Thank you, Gina. Thanks for your support. I love it and appreciate you. You're such a wonderful person. And I love the work that you're doing. The joy is in the journey for sure. So thank you guys for being with me today. And gosh, that today has gone by really fast. Connect with me on my YouTube. Go to Inner Dazzle LLC and you can get on and you can see all the 1 minute pause. You can see the 15-minute prayer videos. And all of these videos are on there as well. So go to YouTube and connect with me there. You can also send me an email at lisa@innerdazzle.com if you would like to connect with me. Takes the time to do that, and we can have a short phone call. Thank you so much for that. You can also connect with me on my Facebook page, my Rev Lisa page. It's Spiritual Resource. So definitely connect with me there. And definitely go to ntmedia.org. That is who is hosting our shows, ntmedia.org, and you can click donate there because that supports our ministries and our programs as they grow and get bigger, and everything is unfolding beautifully and wonderfully. You can also go to my Venmo as well if you're inspired to support me personally on my personal Reverend page. So Venmo at Rev Lisa 1. And then you can support me there as well with your gifts and your tithes. So thank you for that. I appreciate you guys being here. Don't forget to smell the roses. And thank you guys so much for being here. And remember that this time together is always a celebration of your personal empowerment. And I'm so grateful to be here with you. And thank you for your time, and have a blessed rest of your day. And we will see you next week. Peace and blessings. Bye for now.
Wanna play? Come to our yard. New Thought Media Network spotlights you. Saturdays at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, Spirit Says Sing. Our stage is open for musicians, singers and speakers, visual artists. Shine with us, live. It's easy, just click the link in the comments. And be ready to soar. Spirit Says Sing.